Hi everyone, I'm Ginger Balch from In Sheep's Clothing Yarn Shop, welcoming you to another episode of Focus on Fiber. Today I'm delighted to have guest Eva Donnelly, owner of A Stitch in Time in Bethel.
Hi Ginger.
Hi Eva, I'm so glad that you came today.
Thank you, thank you.
You have some great things here for me, so let's get started telling me something about it.
Okay, so you probably know needlepoints come a long way.
It
from
looks
when we
like
were
it.
kids. I mean, it was pure wool.
Right.
Our fibers are so different. Like this one here is a pearl cotton. It's just made with cotton. We have something like this called vineyard silk, which is pure silk. If you feel that, you're going to want to stitch with that.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yeah.
This feels wonderful.
Yeah. So, and then this one is a silk and a wool blend. It's 50-50. It's the same thing. When you work with that,
That's very
I don't
nice
think you'd ever
too.
go back and work with wool again. It's just such a different feel. Pulls
Wow,
through the,
it really
the canvas
is.
and
It has a beautiful sheen too.
nice to work with.
Wow, very, very pretty.
So the difference, if you looked at this one, which is a little bit thinner, would go on something like this here is considered an 18 count stitch.
Okay,
So it's
it has
18 stitches per every inch.
Okay.
So then you calculate the amount of threads that you need, but that is for a thinner thread again, like the cotton or like the pure silk, this one here.
Right.
So these work really well on the 18 count.
Okay.
So then if you went to something like this one, which you can see the hole is bigger,
Right.
this is a 13.
That's a 13 count.
So
okay.
again, 13 stitches per inch, and you would use this one, which is much heavier. It's a heavier fiber.
Because you need to cover up those,
Absolutely.
the canvas.
And they make like the same content for each canvas, but you have to make sure you're using the correct one on which count you're doing.
Okay. Now needles too. Do you have to switch size
Switch needles, common is a 20, 22, 24. You know, you can get away really with the middle needle on almost any piece.
Okay.
You know, but some people like to use a really pointy, which I just hurt my fingers all the time when I do that.
Okay.
So I think you're better off doing like just a nice blunt type needle.
Okay.
So, and then I don't know if you notice something like this piece, after you get it all stitched, can be made into this lovely pillows.
Oh, so this is the same.
Same canvas,
Oh, it
same
looks so
design.
different.
Yep, we
How
just
pretty.
put a border around it, and we have a finisher that does all this work for you, or a lot of people
okay.
that sew themselves
Okay.
can absolutely do it. It's not tough to put it together.
How pretty. Now, is this some sort of a how do they do this?
This is a brushed fringe they added to it. This is all encased
So it's
with
a fringe.
This
Okay.
is a raw silk, and they just used a flat tape around the design itself. Brushed fringe. Again, that's the raw silk. You can kind of see the pebbling
That's
on
beautiful,
it.
yeah.
It did get a little faded in the shop window, unfortunately, but you know, I thought for Flag Day it'd be great. So.
Wow, what a luxurious pillow that
Yeah.
is. Silk, silk, silk.
Yep.
Wow, very nice.
And I don't know if I mentioned, one of the girls that works for me did the painting on these canvases. She, you know, did all the it's all hand painted and it's all counted out, and you know, it's not stenciled or.
Okay,
but she
yeah.
did the painting on those.
Okay, because from what I understand, it's not just you just slap the paint on here.
No.
You
You have to
really
water
have
it down
to,
and be very careful with it. So it has to make sure that your needle can still go through that hole, because if you just put it on thick, you can't. You'll be
get
fighting the whole
needle
time
through.
with the needle.
Okay,
Absolutely.
got it. What a cute little packaging you did with the
Yeah,
little.
we try to make it fun.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Yes, I'm a sucker for packaging.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so tell me a little something about this.
Well, that's a work in progress. I haven't picked
Okay.
it up in a long time. And if you can see, this thread down here is actually a knitting yarn.
Oh, really?
That it's a hand-painted knitting yarn, but I wanted the effect of the different colors for the water.
How clever.
So, yep.
And it feels really nice too.
Yep. And then this up here is called a suede. You know, it's just a suede thread.
Oh my goodness, it is.
So, yep. If you're stitching something with, like for animals or something, it would be great on that.
The little bit of needlepoint that I ever did, it was just all wool.
Boring. Yes. That's what I say. It's
No
come a long
wonder
way.
I
Yes.
kind of decided I wasn't interested.
Try it again. I mean, and we have metallics. You know, if you want to put some sheen on something, and if you can see that sparkle on those.
Oh yeah, sure.
But it would put a little sheen on your piece, make it a little glitzy. We love that stuff for holiday ornaments and things like that.
I bet.
Yep.
Now this I'm looking at this here now, and it's a wooden frame.
Stretcher bars.
Stretcher
Yep,
bars?
they come in all different
Oh, I
sizes.
see.
Yep, you
I
put them
see.
together.
Okay, got it. So you can probably use like one size and have a couple different
Yeah, you can make them different
pieces?
sizes. You
Okay.
use those to keep the thing taut, so you don't have to have it blocked afterwards because they can get really out of
Oh,
shape with the stitching and
absolutely.
everything.
Right.
So some people do them freehand, some people put them on stretcher bars.
Right,
It just
right.
helps maintain that shape with all, especially if you're doing a lot of pattern stitches.
Right.
So-
Now you have to be careful about what kind of.
There's certain tacks. We tried just store-bought tacks. They don't work. These are tacks that we do purchase. They're made for needlepoint frames.
Oh,
they come
okay.
out easy. They stay in.
And they don't.
They don't damage anything.
Damage
No.
that.
No.
Okay. Okay.
So but that's, I haven't picked that up in a while. I've been kind of bad.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like you've been busy with other things.
Yep. Again, there's beads. You know, if you want to do any beading,
Okay.
nothing here has beads, unfortunately. I didn't
Okay,
think
but I
about
see
that.
buttons,
Buttons, yep. You can add those to it.
and these are beads too.
Those are beads. Yep, different
Okay.
style beads.
Oh my goodness, you can go crazy just with the
It's,
fun little things.
It is a rather expensive hobby, I have to say. You
Uh-huh.
know, it can be very expensive, but it's a lot of fun. It's very relaxing. You know, sit
Right.
outside. It's very relaxing
Now,
to
just out of curiosity, because I know, I mean, like I said, did a little bit of needlepoint, and I was
Yeah. do. Years, right,
it
right.
was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, about how long would it take for you to do something like that project?
Well, this little thing here, probably 6 hours to do the stitching on
really?
that.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I stitch fast. I mean, some people,
Okay,
you know,
all
it
right,
could be
so we'll have to-
longer.
okay.
If you're doing longer stitches, it goes much faster, like when you cover over 4 holes at a time. I don't think any of these are
So
much
when you
long
mean
stitching
when you
on
say
those.
long stitching, what does that mean?
That means instead of going into every hole, you're skipping a hole.
Oh,
So you can make it, you know, it's almost like a bargello type.
Okay.
So you can
and
make the
interlocking.
stitches longer. It goes much faster. Instead of covering like I say, 1 hole, you can cover 2, 3, 4 holes and make your design go something like that. Well, this piece here, actually, if you see here.
Oh yeah, it has like a long straight.
Yep,
stitch.
this is straight. That's just a satin
Okay.
stitch. And then this here, the square, is like over 1, over 2, over 3, and then, you know, it makes a square shape.
Oh, kind of
so
like a
there's
woven type of
tons
thing.
and tons and tons of pattern stitching that you can do with these pieces.
Okay.
And of course, there's the books.
Okay, I see that you have a couple books.
Couple
over
books
there.
today, yeah. And this one here, I love this.
That looks like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I have another one I'm working on,
Uh-huh.
but instead of putting all this, I'm just going to put greens on it. Put greens in it for the
cute.
winter time,
Oh, cute.
and it's a snowman instead of the Santa. But yeah, just a little decoration up on the mantle,
And you even
this
have
all
little
comes
feet on
out, little feet.
Cute is that? So
Yeah.
is it like a little box inside of it that you?
It's the way it's made with cardboard. We send it out to a finisher, and this
Oh,
is kind of
okay.
what they do with it.
Okay.
And you can feel it. It's kind of heavy.
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean
got-
it's
It's pretty
some
heavy,
serious-
and they just build it. And like again, the next one is just going to have regular twigs of evergreens or
Right.
something like that. Maybe some berries and.
There's no such thing as like just really simple. I'm looking at all the edging that you have, the cording
all
that's
the cording,
on there as
it's
well.
all handmade. That is all finished by local I have local finishers. I have finishers in Texas. I have finishers in California.
Oh, wow.
I have a guy that does my belts. He's from Missouri. So we
these
do
are expert
send-
people that know
That's all
what
they
they're
do is
doing.
needlepoint finishing.
I
yeah,
see. Mhm.
handbags. They do a lot of different things with it.
Now, do you find? I know at one time, like '70s, needlepoint was really hot, and everybody was needlepointing then.
Remember
And
the denim
then-
jackets? We would do that embroidery.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So-
And it kind of faded away. Like lots of fiber arts, they come, they go, they
Right,
come, they go,
right.
ebb and flow. So, do you feel like it's coming back strong again right now?
I don't think it actually went away forever. I think people are getting more excited because there's a lot more to choose from.
Right.
You know, it's not just wool. A
right.
lot of different. I mean, there's fuzzy stuff for fur, and there's, like I say, the suede, and there's glitter, and there's glow in the dark threads for Halloween pieces.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah, you put them in, they glow in the dark.
Oh wow.
And a lot of, I mean, the thing with needlepoint, it takes a long time. You know, to do a big piece, it does take a long time to get it finished. And,
So I guess if you're spending the kind of money that you're saying for the quality fibers that you're
Yes.
using, you're getting a lot
you are.
of needlepoint pleasure.
I was going to say, yes, a lot
Yes.
of nice, yeah.
Yes.
The one thing is, like, if you think about, you see these needlepoint chairs and needlepoint rugs, they last for years.
Oh,
Those
sure.
you really want to do in a pure wool.
Right.
But it's a lot of time, but you have them, I mean, they're heirlooms, they're passed down, and you can still see a lot of needlepoint stools and things
Well, I
around.
have a friend that she's big into needlepoint. She has all kinds of
it is
pieces.
A great hobby. It's an expensive hobby, but it will be here forever. The piece that you do will last forever. So, which is one good thing about it.
Now, have you ever done any of those rugs? I've seen like the K-Facet. Those, or they did a
I
lot
have one
of,
in work, one in
do you?
progress. It's on a
Those are
10 count, which is a
beautiful.
much bigger hole, but it's upstate at the other house, at my other house.
Oh, okay, because
So-
those are coming squares.
This one that I'm doing is a rectangle. It is probably a 30 by, 28.
Oh, it's a one piece?
It's a one-piece rug, so it's big, it's hard to handle, you have to roll it.
Okay.
It's going to be a long time work in progress.
Oh, okay, because I've seen the ones where they had squares, and you do a square, and you kept doing squares, and then you put them all
You
together.
put them together, right? Elizabeth Bradley
Yes,
also
that's
does that.
it,
She
that's
does
it, yes.
beautiful pieces.
Yeah,
And then you put them together, or you can have them put together. But that is very time consuming. I've got a couple customers that have done those, and
Yes.
they're beautiful. I have their pictures
Yes.
posted. They're gorgeous.
Wow.
Again, to have the rug finished, though, it's very expensive.
Right, that's
So
a
you
real
have to have
commitment
it done the
time.
right way. Yep. So, but it's really, I find that it's making such a comeback. Most of the clientele probably is our age, but
Okay.
we're starting to get some of the young girls interested.
Oh,
and
we already have a young clientele. What are you talking about?
there you go. I forget, I'm going down in age. But we
So
are
you have
getting
younger-
some.
you have younger people
we
that
have
are
some younger
doing
people
this?
that are starting. It's a basic stitch. We tell everybody it's, Mexico to Maine. Come up in Mexico, go out at Maine.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're left-handed, come up at Florida, go out of California.
Oh, wow.
So it's just a simple stitch until you really get the hang of it and get where you want to start doing some. It's like knitting. You have to read the charts and
Right.
learn the different stitches.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Now, what's the little? You have a little guy over there
This
too.
guy here is what we call just a stand-up. Again, it was a very small canvas.
Okay.
Something like that.
Right,
And we did
right.
some different stitching. I don't know if you can see, that's kind of fuzzy there. And we had it made into a stand-up, so it sits on your
Okay.
mantle or, wherever you want to put it. Most of the time, things are being made into pillows, being framed, or something like this guy is an ornament that would either hang.
Right.
You could hang it anywhere, really, but people would put it on a tree or off a mantle.
So it's a
or-
nice little gift item that somebody can make.
I've started doing my daughter 2 a year since I had the shop, and she's got a tree full of them at the end.
Oh,
For
really?
the holiday, yeah. She loves them. She looks forward to them.
Now you knit as well, right?
I do knit
How
as
do you
well.
manage to do all this at one time?
I don't sleep a lot.
Oh my goodness.
No, I do, and I do get a little lazy, I have to say. I get sometimes I get tired of it because I do it all the time.
Okay.
But I do, I love it. Instead of, that hand to mouth at night with the potato chips.
Oh.
I'd rather be doing the stitching.
Okay, you can't manage to do both
can't
at the
do
same
both,
time?
no,
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think I could do that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work well when you're doing stitching. Same way,
And
with
you know,
knitting, you want nice, clean
You want clean,
hands.
yes,
so-
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it works well. It's a great piece to travel with. They're small.
Now, what about care once you've made one of these?
Yep, nothing. Normal wear and tear. You don't have to worry about it. Some people will spray it with. I don't know the name of they'll spray it with a protector.
Fix it, yeah.
Yeah, and I've never done that to any of my pieces. I have a wallet, actually I should have brought it out, that's in my purse that I've done, and I've been using it for about 6 years now.
Oh, really?
It's a needlepoint, the front is all needle pointed, and
Okay.
it's
good.
been 6 years and still holding up good.
Now, if you were to having to clean something, this would like go to the dry cleaner and...
Well, a lot of dry cleaners will not clean a needlepoint unless you know exactly what it's stitched with, because it has to be water. You have to make sure your fibers don't fade or run. When some things are dyed.
Right,
So
okay.
a lot of the cleaners will not clean them, so we will tell people to spot clean it and do it themselves, and because they don't want to take the responsibility
Oh,
of
sure.
having the fiber run or the
Sure.
thread run, and
Especially if you have some like these hand-dyed.
absolutely
that
you
could
have
see
to.
what
Yep.
happen.
So when we have a piece come in, we do what we call blocking it to get the shape back. So we will put it up on a blocking board.
And you do that yourself?
We do that at the
Oh,
shop. If it's
okay.
not too big, our boards, holds a good sized piece. And you put it up upside down, you tack it all into place, and you spray it. So then it kind of not shrinks up, but gets back to a normal shape. It's called blocking. Same thing with knitting, how you block a knitting garment.
And then it's ready to be
Then it's ready
finished.
to be either made into a pillow, take it to a framer. Some people do it themselves. They'll do their own pillows. Because it is a long time to get pieces finished that we send out.
Right.
It does take a long time to get it back into the shop. But yeah, no, it really has come a long way since when we were kids. I thought it was so boring back in the 70s, but it really has. It's come a long way.
Yeah, a little. It's like knitting.
Oh yeah,
there's
absolutely.
so much new with knitting now. The fibers and the designs.
Yep.
That's what I was so taken with you in your shop, with all the different designs. I'm like, wow, I didn't.
Yeah,
know they could
and
make
they're
all
all
these
hand
things.
painted. I mean, they really are all
That's
hand painted that
amazing.
we carry. We do have a lot of women coming in for some of our small skeins of yarn and wool, like to mend a sweater, to mend a blanket. We'll send them to one spot where they don't have to get a whole big hank of yarn.
Right.
They can just get a little thing like this to do their mending with.
Now, is that something? Because I know when I did know a little bit about needlepoint, do you still have the things where you have the big hanks and you cut them and you get the strands?
Yeah, we do have the big hanks, but we also have small hanks made of the same yarn.
Okay.
So the big hank you're going to want if you're doing a rug, a big pillow where you need that big amount of background. But a lot of pieces you can see like one little hank, or you don't need to have a lot. Something like this one, which I think we're going to talk to in a while.
Yes, I've been looking at this one.
There's probably 100 different threads on that, 100 different, if you look at it,
Different
you'll see
types of
different
threads.
types, different textures.
Wow.
There's probably 15 different reds, and they're all different. So that's kind of a sampler,
Okay.
and every stitch on that is different.
It's funny because when you first
You don't realize.
don't realize
No,
it,
you
but
don't
the
realize.
closer that you look at it, each block is a different stitch.
Each one is different, yep.
And you have different fibers in those different blocks. And
Absolutely.
then different colors.
So there's probably, like you look at this and it's a blue, there's probably 5 shades of blue like this that's in that piece.
Oh, wow.
So you buy a lot of fibers for a piece like that,
Okay.
and you do have a lot left over, but
But
it's
the nice
stunning.
thing about that is probably you can buy a little as you go.
You
don't have
can
to
do it
buy
that way,
all in one
absolutely. Yeah,
shot?
you don't have to buy. There's a book that goes with this piece, and it does tell you, like block 1 was done with vineyard and color, blah blah blah. So with
Okay.
this kind of directs you, but you can absolutely change it and do anything you want.
Right.
So I might not put the rosy colors in there because they just don't go. I mean, they're reds, but I may not use those in this piece myself.
Right.
So yeah.
Now, something like that has to take
A long time. Yeah, a long time, unless you were working on that. I mean, you probably can do a square fairly quick, but there's so many on there. It will take a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
We're running
So
it as a
just-
studio session
Oh,
at the
you
store.
are? Oh, okay. Okay. So just say like one block. I mean, I know it's people
Yeah,
ask me that. How long does something take you? But
Well,
like
it would depend.
average person,
Some
like,
of these
to do a block.
blocks are long stitches, so they're quick.
Okay.
It's and you're done. Some of them is
Right.
every stitch. So if you're going to every hole again
Right.
and doing that one stitch at a time, it's going
Right.
to take a lot longer than going into every 3 or every 4 holes.
Right.
So it's like doing an open stitch on knitting. When you do the yarn overs, that row is so
Real
quick
fast,
and it's so
yeah.
big, and same type of thing with needlepoint.
And some of these, because I'm really looking at this, some of them are more than one color.
Well, it's not.
Or
It's
no?
the over dyes. I should have brought a couple of those with me. They're over dyed threads. It's a thread see this
kinda
here?
like
This
that,
isn't over dyed. It looks like it's
Oh, yeah,
pure
I
white.
see it.
But it's got tint. See the red? You think it's an
Kind
over
of-
dye, or you think it's a
Well,
solid.
kind of like this one.
Absolutely, that's an over dye.
So this one has, it's red, but there's different
different
shades
shading in there.
of
Same with
red
this
in there.
one. It's one yarn, but it's painted like that.
Okay. Okay.
Same thing.
Real. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, because I'm looking at a few there that look like little checkerboards.
Well, some of them may have 2 colors in each one. Like this one definitely does. It's white, and then it has the gold going around
yeah.
it. But most of those are one.
So you're letting the needlepoint yarn do
do all the work.
all the work.
Yes.
So it looks
yes.
very, very complicated, and maybe it's not quite so bad.
It's a beautiful piece, and like I said, we're doing it in the class now. This is my instructor's piece that I told her I'd guard with my life as I took it. So,
Okay.
but it's even if you don't really care to do that piece, you're learning all the different stitches. It's more of a teaching piece than you may not want to do Americana or,
Right,
but
right.
it's really a teaching piece because you learn so many different stitches doing a piece like that. Same with doing a sampler as knitting. You'd
Right,
learn all
right.
those
The
different
Afghans
things.
and things,
Absolutely.
right. Uh-huh.
So, and then,
Now, how long have you been needlepointing?
14. I have had the shop 14 years now. So 14 years.
14 years?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't knit when I opened. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, you were just a needlepoint. Oh, I did not know
Knitting
that.
and cross stitch, yes. I did not knit at all when I opened. Well, I shouldn't say I did. I knit as a child with my grandmother holding the yarn.
Right,
When I
right.
picked up needles, it kind of came back that all the customers were looking for yarn.
So your
then I
shop
brought
kind of
the yarn
morphed
in.
into...
Yep.
Oh,
So we brought the
great.
yarn in, and so we're 50-50, I think.
So now you've become a really good knitter as well.
Yes, yes. I mean, if I'm knitting, I want to be stitching. If I'm stitching, I want to be knitting. So I'm kind of like.
That's how I feel with the weaving and the knitting. It's
Absolutely.
it's
which
hard
one do you want to work on
right.
first, right? Or which one do you want to get finished?
Right.
So, but I think you should give it a shot. I think you should give it a try.
I should. I should. Finding that extra time in the
I
day
know.
to do one more thing.
I know. Well, I golf too, so this is really interferes with my golf time too. So, So I don't know. Lots of different, like I say, stitches on these pieces. So.
Now, do you find like there's a time of year that people will needlepoint more than others? Is
More
summer
in
a
the
good
summer.
time?
More in the summer because in the winter they're knitting. They don't mind the heavy yarns, but this is
Okay.
really. I mean, you can see there's nothing to carry this around with you. It's very
Right.
portable. It's small.
Right.
It travels really well if you're on, flying
So you
or
can,
traveling.
or you could sit on the beach and
You can sit on the
needlepoint?
beach and do the
Okay.
light on the beach is the best for it. You have to have good
Oh,
light.
okay.
So
I never thought about that.
Yeah, it is really good on the beach or down by the pool or out in the gardens, or it really is a good place to work on it. Daylight, you need that.
Okay. Now, do you have groups of people that come in, like to
We
come
do.
in
We
and
have
stitch?
Monday morning stitching all the time. Sometimes we're running, we call it studio time, so sometimes we are running classes, but usually it's just ladies getting together to stitch and to, gossip.
Sure. Oh, sure. Just like the knitting, we all find our
yeah.
times to do that.
But I mean, I love it. It's been a lot of fun. It's keeps you busy. It's good handwork. Keeps you away from the
Now,
potato
you must
chips.
have all those things too, like the magnifying glasses.
Everything, yeah. We are full.
Because
full
this
fledged.
really, I'm like,
yeah.
wow.
Cheaters.
newer
I wear a lot of
glasses.
cheaters for
Right.
these. Yeah, I go up a couple different lengths in my glasses when I do this work. And these aren't bad. If you're working with the dark, like same with knitting, the blacks and the navies, and
Right.
it's hard to see that. But this isn't too bad. These are pretty good. And we find that once you start on a project, you just want to finish it. So you do keep going till you get finished. So you get it done.
Well, something like the sampler, that would be fun because you took the time to get that one
Right,
piece done,
right.
and now it's like the next one. Okay.
And plus, there's a group of 6 of us doing this at the store, and nobody wants to be the last one.
Oh,
So it's kind of a motivation type tool.
competition
Same when
there.
you're doing a class with knitting, you want to
Absolutely.
keep up with the class. You don't want to
Right,
be the one
right.
that's falling behind and
Right.
not getting your work done. But it is fun. I mean, I do enjoy it. I thought I'd be 7 years in business. I thought when my daughter got out of college, and she's been out and married for a few years now,
That's
so I've doubled
fantastic.
my time.
That's really great.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that the needleworks are going strong too. As
Yeah,
along with
I
the
hope they
knitting.
keep up. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I hope
great.
they keep going. So it's we don't want to see it disappear.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I sure hope that you enjoyed spending your time with me and my guest here, Eva Donnelly from A Stitch in Time in Bethel. I know that I've enjoyed her visit and her beautiful needlepoint. Please be sure to go to my website for a link to Eva's to her link for her website and all her information about the class for her patriotic sampler as well. So, and also you can check out the past links to the past episodes. So thank you again, and don't forget, it's always important to have a focus on fiber. See you in the next time.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.